Akinode and Said Fuad on Midweek Politics every Wednesday 1 to 3 p.m. on Mainland 98.3 FM for thought-provoking conversations, voices from the top, engaging interviews, in-depth analysis on all matters around politics, policies and governance. Midweek Politics on Mainland 98.3 FM, bringing the right perspectives to everything politics.
One of the things I've come to realize in public services, it is a call I've placed on you, either by voting for you or by surround. And the moment you jeopardize that trust, it doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone that holds same responsibilities, whether in an elective position or in a select trust. I mean, we're over 200 million people in this country, and we don't even have up to 200,000 political class ruling us. How many state governors do we have? 36, and the FCT minister. How many presidents do we have? 1. So how many deputy governors? Put all of those together. House of Assembly, the National Assembly, 109 senators, 360 House of Reps members. Put all of those together. Party ESCOs, party leaders, youth leaders at whatever level. Put them together. I'm not sure we have up to 0.05% of the entire Nigerian population ruling us as the political class. So when you have that privilege, when you have the opportunity to either govern your state or legislate on behalf of your constituents, enrich your pockets. Yes, they call it workshop. Let me use that street language. It means it is where you work, that's where you chop. So for everyone that holds offices in this country, you're well paid. You're very well paid. So when people entrust public funds in your custody and you make a mess of it, perhaps you're thriving on the fact that we have a system that is faulty. Institutions of government that are supposed to ask questions don't exactly live up to their expectations. You think you can do things and go away with it. How many former governors that are being investigated by anti-graft agencies do we still have holding political offices, whether as ministers or as serving senators? But we have a system where individuals are way more powerful than institutions, and any country that is set up that way is not going to make any progress whatsoever. And after all of the back and forth, the cat and mouse, the day and night, the immediate past governor of Kogi State, Yaya Bello, has put himself up and he said he honored the invitation of the eyes. So were those people consulted where the allegations were made against you? Or perhaps 80.2 billion from a state like Kogi that is suffering with a whole lot of decay in infrastructures. I've been privileged to be to that state a whole lot of times, and Victor, I can tell you for a fact that with all of the resources available to Kogi State, with the uniqueness of the state being bordered around 13 different states in this country, Kogi State has no business whatsoever being in that state. It is an allegation, and the immediate past governor had come out to say, I have nothing to hide. I'm coming out. I've honored the invitation, and now I'm here. But if you have invitation, my name is ᴏᴜᴜᴜ Akinode. Welcome to Midweek Politics live on Mainland 98.3 FM. We got to do this every Wednesdays from 1 to 3 p.m. It is 120 straight minutes of conversation table, going way beyond the surface of your regular information you get from your news outlets. We give you conversation. Good to have you today on the show. Well, Victor, first off, let me say a big happy birthday. Let me be opportunity the organization, the past few months that you've been here. I mean, you've actually literally just slaughtered in, just like the name of the Liverpool manager. You slaughtered Victor. We call Victor the man of the people because
I remember. I think that's true.
Last week when we were on the show was my mom's birthday.
Exactly.
And then we're back today, the 18th day of September, and we're here to
okay.
Don't worry.
What kind of chilling are you referring to?
Off the mic.
Which of them?
Off the mic. Honorable, off the mic.
Buzzing, messages, calls, and everything. But when you were reeling out all of those, qualities and expectations that is expected of every leader, it is not expected of you to think that the moment you get into that particular office, what you need to start doing is to make the office leader, the governor, or whatever position that you actually take, because it is not what is expected of you. You are expected to go there and serve the power.
Deserve. If people vote for you, they deserve you to work for them.
Dividend, everything that they are looking for, everything that they actually said they wanted, political office holder out there is in this shoe. We've seen some few persons that have delivered.
Victor.
I don't want to mention names, but if you want me to, I will. History doesn't lie. It's there. We've had governors in the past who have done extremely well, fantastically well, very well for their gift to us as a country. You talked about the ex-governor of Kogi State. All of a sudden, when I read the write-up
of the Yaya Bello media office, yes, Ohiari Michael, let me read some part of the statement he released earlier. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission of the EFCC. The decision, he said, the former governor, and this is where I find it really interesting, by the way, the former governor who has in order to ensure due process. And let me skip that part. Tinubu to place Nigeria on the path of sustainable economic development, placed an anti-corruption mechanism to check graft and ensure the resources of the state works for high-profile Nigerians. He said it is our hope that the commission will be as professional as necessary and respect his fundamental right as a citizen lion. We moved over to His Excellency. The youngest governor in Nigeria of Donald Duke became governor at 38, but Yaya Bello is the only governor in this country that was born after the Civil War. It shows you how young Petra Onyegbule was, Yaya Bello's chief press secretary. She's been to ease with decision makings, but of course, I think it's probably we can't even discuss here. The then ACN candidate, that the late Prince Audu, but then there was that landmark judgment that was given that said, you know what, the party owned the party. He came back, got sworn in as the governor. He recontested for a second term. He did his 8 years. Towards the end of his 8 years, ACN became APC, and then Yaya Bello threw his heart in the ring to contest the primaries for about maybe zoning the ticket to SAR, whatever it was. But he went into the primaries with the likes of the former governor of Ekiti State, primaries in Abuja. Then there was the current president as well. There was the current Senate president also that also stepped down, in Abuja, of mobilization for youth for the President Tinubu campaign organization. And then he also supervised as well the former accountant, yes, to be or not to be, running or hiding. The FCC chairman, whatever it was, his legal team were representing him, and he was saying this and saying that. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, after deciding with his families, his political allies, and his legal team, side forward, what do you understand about democracy and human rights, especially when it involves people that are holding or held political offices, whether you have immunity?
This afternoon, and again, happy birthday to Victor. It was only this morning I was told he's a storyteller. I'm still waiting for him to be a story. I never knew the storytelling part of him, but back to the white lion of Pᴏ. You asked me very mind as to what has become of our democracy and an interpretation of what human right is. Interestingly, our political gladiators, our politicians, understand the weakness in our laws and the loopholes in our system, and so it's always very easy for them to throw into the conversation the issues of human right, violation of my fundamental human right. One would have thought that these are people. The anti-graft agency has done an investigation fundamental human rights, Okoyemi. And so you understand that again. I think some of these guys in my own trust system, because again, a simple evaluation of their character. Because I think that, look, what was all the drama for in the first place, Okoyemi? Now that he has decided to honor the invitation of the EFCC, I'm talking about unending cases. Okoyemi, I'm sure we've lost count. We've lost count on the number of cases that we've not been able to resolve. Sitting down here, I have resolved some of them. Are with a lot of questions as to the sanctity of the judiciary. Nobody will forget in a hurry the judgment of a perpetual injunction judgment, that has taken the former governor of Rivers State, Mr. Peter Odili, from any questions as to billions of naira that went missing under his administration.
There's none. Why would you even ask that it should not be investigated if you don't have anything to hide?
For a court to now make a judgment, a pronouncement to say that, look, 2 governors that we've been able to send to jail after several years of prosecuting, know what eventually became of that case. They are spent
now,
and it's not just Dari, James Ibori. Can't forget Ori. All the Nigerians. He came back after spending his time over there to a rousing welcome by his people, by his subjects, who he has stolen from. They rolled out the drums for him to celebrate his return to the country, and today. In Plateau State, he's also a power broker as we speak.
Yes.
Despite his very terrible record.
In fact, there are words that the reason why there's not been a for that slot now. The governor, the member representing Panshik.
But the fact is that he was convicted. So if you put all of that together, again, look, there are people who took their pillows and even wore a vest, with here I come for God knows when it will end, only God knows. And it's not the only one. Several people, several governors, several, people have cases that have become a case that may never end. And also forget that some courts have also let free former governors on mere technical grounds. The case was not filed the white lion, quote and unquote, the way it likes to be called. It was hiding and running away from there to the long list of former governors. And then before you know it, again, it's going to have his freedom, because eventually it will be his state.
It will be. Did you say he will be?
So it's even actually. But it's not going to be more available to run. It means this Nigeria. You know the way we say it. It means Nigeria. Like some people said, it was a very grave question to answer.
Nothing would have happened to the jailed former deputy senate president.
If he was in the country, he was and eventually also
the president
to say, look, my own prediction is that, of course, he has enough resources to hire the best lawyers. They will be in courts, filing different motions upon motions, moving from one court to the other, questioning why he has to be questioned in the legal system to continue to push.
At the end of the day, now plea bargain.
Well, battling, moving from one court to the other, wasting the time of the courts. President, you will see that.
There has to be soft landing.
So because again, from his statement, he's already patronizing the president. So what he's going to do, Opeyemi, and the public space is what I'm telling you now. It's going to commit more to the president's agenda, his right agenda, and then also start to commit to 2027 for the president. So it's going to become, a factor,
a grand mobilizer.
Yeah, especially in Kogi State and other parts of the country for the president. I'm not. It's not.
Let's quickly leave this conversation. I'm sure before the end of today, we would know what the EFCC wants to, do on the case. If there are charges against him, you should have perfected all of the investigation. So once he turned himself in, there's no need for any delay. Just scheduling for court street, and then maybe the court will grant him bail or formed and updated with update on this one. Victor, there is an Edo State election.
In fact,
take us into that conversation.
Indeed, the atmosphere in Edo State, as I speak with you right now, is in a feverish situation, and one can want to cast their vote, but that, of course, is still a very big question on the lips of so many persons now, who is going to take the hot seats, after the incumbent Godwin Obaseki decides, or rather will be leaving office in November this year, 2024. But we want to look at it from this angle, Said Fuad. Already we know that a lot of talking tough, the horse dragging, fighting and all of that during the campaign, by the level of security, and also coming from what the governor said himself. Let's not forget that the peace accord, we've not heard anything from the PDP so far if they will eventually go ahead to sign the peace accord. The support needed so far to the APC. Of course, we're talking about the federal might here, and for that reason, the PDP has said to themselves that they are not going to, sign this peace accord, which of course is just an electoral ritual. It is not part of the constitution. But when you look at the statement being made by Obaseki, that this is more like a do or die affair. In other words, they're going to put their lives on the line to ensure that they protect their mandates, which is they need to be in office, they need to remain in office, they need to remain in power ever since they took that security, and also deploying 35,000 security policemen, the outfits that we have now, instead of having a state where people are supposed to go vote and vote peacefully in that state.
Well, it's not a war zone, but our politicians have made it high. They've made terrible statements to make the situation this tense. Really, this was supposed to be up to 500,000. If I'm going to be looking at what happened in Osun-Ekiti, at the end of the day, you probably be seeing the results like the winner going home with less than 300,000 votes. So if you look at it, you're probably going to see the political gladiators, issuing threats upon threats. At some point, even the governor Obaseki was on the podium saying it was a do or die affair, elections do or die affair. So it's just what it is, really. Our politicians have refused to behave themselves, and that's why the mindset of our politicians has to tell you that, look, these are people who are not ready to play by the rules. But despite this number of policemen, my mind tells me this is not the first time we're having this heavy deployment of security personnel,
of course,
for elections. Also, you could buy votes. I don't know how many people have in the past been arrested.
Polling units.
But what has come out of those movements? Whereas while they were busy, EFCC, showing strength and power during the general elections, all of the major political parties held their phone for the EFCC to show their seriousness against vote buying. Where primaries of parties became a dollarized affair. I saw soup on people, even plant people among the delegates to, take care of people who buy votes or who collect money during elections. So I think that, look, at the end of the day, all the major political parties are perfecting, are now mobilize other people. As we speak, I'm sure you are still going to see some level of thuggery. We've been seeing, going to see security operators who just sit and watch as the boys do their thing. So chance are, before, during, and after the elections. Then after the elections, by midday, start to issue statements. They will appear on TV complaining about the process, the elections. By midnight or so, the coalitions will get busy with a lot of heavy deployment of security personnel, and then results will be announced. I just come. Let me know. I'm in the mood to make predictions today. So people will argue, call.
Maybe we see another one.
And the winner will also go go on TV thanking God
and go to church for thanks.
In fact, what the winner will now say is that, look, it's been evil, and then the other ones will say no. So that might delay the result. Tribunal will get to the appeal court, and then the Supreme Court will give the final hammer, and everybody will go back home.
Before we even get to all of this, I like the prediction because everyone would say they are good parties trying and making sure they do the right thing, and thing comes from the center, and a lot of questions have been tagged there. But coming from you to bring some level of confidence back to Nigerians, because you have a lot of elections that will be coming up. Don't forget, we have Ondo thinking of for the first time, let's have an election that people will not be thinking of going through all of these processes you mentioned. And money.
The major reason why we don't have free and fair elections, because I know primaries, from the primary level, you see politicians who start to mess the entire process with the Mahmoud Yakub. I say Mahmoud Yakub will only be an umpire. And I'm surprised that it is now that people are questioning the rec. These people have been appointed for them are card carrying members.
All of them lobby to be where they are.
Look, asking, Rek, you have just come. Do you have somewhere to stay?
Security.
I listen to
the governor has his here.
Sure.
And then the Rek will now go back to the ad hoc staff that will conduct the elections. Do you have people, Mr. Governor? In fact, their offices are stationed at the local government offices.
Yes.
So they are with politicians. They wake up. It's about the personality, the individuals, and they are conducted at the state level. Each state has its own mode of conducting elections.
Yes.
That was why when Donald Trump lost 4 years in Georgia, are all Republicans. The Georgian governor at that time, who stood by the result of the election that showed that Donald Trump lost in Georgia, irrespective of their party affiliations, the sanctity of the process must be respected. So, into nation building. And that's why I think I've changed my mind as to whether we run a democracy truly. Yes, we have a civil rule, like ᴏᴜᴜ was trying to tell. We'll probably get that in Rivers State, it's still a rumor not yet confirmed. The local government elections are coming, and we are getting reports that look, that AA, the party AA, is it AAP or AA or something? One party. You know, there's a party that
Action Alliance
of the PDP away from Wike in Rivers State. Okwemi, interesting times coming in Rivers State. The state in able to contest
on another platform.
They are all gonna win. So directly or indirectly, what has happened is taking over the local government as a structure.
Yes.
And I think it's a smart. So Fubara basically it's just about politics. Guys, go there, contest. Hold it down for me.
I'm coming back.
I'm coming. Guys over there already telling us that that's what's going to happen. Over the state mental electoral. So, you see, politics, the way we play it, is shrouded in all nothing new. The heavens would.
Last week Monday, there was the Edo Peace Summit.
Yes.
I mean, that had everyone that mattered in Edo political and economic space to sign. The PDP also said they were not going to sign. Well, the APC ended up signing, but the PDP refused to sign. In fact, they were at the venue, both the party chairman at the state level and the country. And the reason Answer Godalo and the PDP gave was that 11 of their strong party members and sign a peace, respect to the fact that it is a tradition to sign peace acts. People necessarily don't even abide by, because the people that always perpetrate the evil during election, they don't. In Edo election, the governor is talking, the APC. Is this a reflection of what the state has been security wise? So all of these drama just started as a build up to the election. This of the state, it's just what it is, really. There are people who would tell the resources are there. Okay, and I say, when I say the resources are there. I've met with a politician who told if a governor decides that that's what he wants to do, our system is so open, so porous, to the point where a governor can actually do or even do more than that. Press conferences. Is it because he lost Rivers State so much to the point where he's going to want now for supporting who they thought was going to be loyal in Rivers State in Edo State campaigning? You have Senator Monday Okpebolo. You have former Senate, what he calls his political mentor, and then you see the other guy who is the running mate. And what comes to mind is that look, you know now that as they are campaigning, nobody knows the agreement they have between themselves. Because I know that Senator Adams Oshiomhole would not have left Abuja, and so and at the end of the day, we fight. If they win, you now begin to hear that they did not honor any agreement.
Just like the case of
They are having the agreement and we don't know.
Let me break down All People's Party.
APP. I knew it was one.
All People's Party. Well, the decision comes in the wake of October 2024. The FCT minister has maintained a significant control over the PDP structure, many see as a bid to counter Wike's dominance in the state.
Remain in the PDP. He's only giving a signal
to his boys.
Go elections are decided by the governor, because it goes. Although there's going to be a lot of legal battle, there are too many cases to even follow.
There are more court cases in Rivers than maybe
faction is going to also issue its own statement, and there's going to be a directive. Do you know what's going to happen?
It even be an election. There will be maybe caretaker committee.
Because as look, I can guarantee you that those guys will win that election. There has never been anything really. It's just people writing figures and declaring winners. And people can say it is true. We know what. So Look, and so what's gonna, the other one of caretaker was that, they are in, so when
there's been an election,
so automatically it takes charge of local governments legally. When the resources come, they are still his boys. The question will now be, people that say, he's going to go to a win under the APP, and most likely they will win, come back to the PDP,
or the governor goes to join them
and joins the APP governor. The only state I've seen it happen, and whether we like it or not, it's still one thing that has continued us. And our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been able to do it. It's only God knows. In this Rivers matter, Fubara will still have the last laugh. Case riding on now. Okoyemi is the federal might. That's the only thing left. You forget about all this structure or no structure. You can't even.
But for the
government, his boot party. Okoyemi, it doesn't. Must the party be known? It doesn't have to be known. Thinking of keeping his people, extending their time over 6 months. They know what it means to have. Politicians are more interested in the cookie jar, the resources of the state. There's no commitment to nation building. In the midst of all of these shenanigans we're seeing
of budget and economy planning, Abubakar Bagudu has said that the government, he said, and I quote, the federal government is making challenging decisions now. The high-level advisory council for Development Research and Project Center, DRPC, that's part of the initiative that was launched by the former president, whose renewed hope agenda on women inclusiveness and empowerment, and the pro-rise. We're making tough society decisions, but the music we're hearing from the other side does not look like it's a balance result of the tough decisions that should be taken by the people on the other side. Let's quickly look into this. Are we not tired of hearing this talk over and over again?
You keep telling lies. You now begin decisions. We are taking tough decisions. Things are going to get better. And you know that, look, within your own space, nothing is tough in your own space. You do an immediate thing. It's quick fix for you. Sharp. What you want, you get. You want SUV, you get it. You want tough decision anywhere. You yourself know that the people you are selling the tough decision narrative, politicians, I think, have gotten to the point where that obvious lie of tough decisions. Then I've seen this because again I look at when they repeat these things over and over. And over, okay, so this is true, and that anybody that questions your lie is the problem. Okay, let's just put it on the table. Okay, let's begin to analyze these things. In the last 1 year plus of this adjust. And these are the sacrifices that we've made. It's not so that they don't say we are tough decision. It's always darkest before dawn. The last soundbite we played up, remember, the president was even saying that Nigerians want things to be free. But we can't develop like that. We need to tighten our belt. Good, we are ready. But look, you can't sell out a single narrative of you have to be the one to suffer. We will trust that statement, if the politicians, these guys are not making any sacrifice. Look at what we have now. Everybody has gone quiet. When people they will forget, then let's not resume now. If you resume now, they'll keep us asking us questions. Nigerians are people of short memory. Have they done August?
We just started September.
You understand? Then got an Escalade 2024 model. The boys in the street will say, you saw that? And he was retrofitted to fit what the president wants. Shovell was telling you that at some point they even said that look, they had to pad it so that the noise, And I gave the example of Javier Milei of Argentina. The man just passed the budget of 2025 for Argentina, and he told the opposition, "If you like, no price, and we'll see veto it because he has the people." Look, things are tough in Argentina now for the people because of Malay's government expenditure.
So the people are seeing that everybody is feeling. The president visited the emir of Brunei's palace in the midst, sensitive enough, in the midst of where people cannot even account for their families. People don't even know where their next meal will come from. Some people have rooms because they can't come out of their rooms. And then the president drove down millions of dollars worth of Escalade.
I think we should play that soundbites from the ex-vice chair of the APC,
the former national vice chairman, Saliu Lukman of the Upper. What the senator said in respect to if you move some people from CBN to Lagos, You are playing with your political future in 2027. One national vice chairman, North of the All Progressive Congress. Your life on Mainland FM. This is midweek politics, and we get to do conversation, no sentiment, no emotion, no bias, just facts and figures. Stick with us.
Is to bring normalcy and redecorate. It's more difficult.
The general elections in 2023 have created conversations and consequences that will live with us for years to come. From the executive to the judiciary, legislature, media, and the people, organized labor, and civil society organizations, issues that will continue to shape the future of
the PDP in some locations. Now, gentlemen, be careful. Better men have founded parties that have gone into oblivion. Where's the party of Awolowo? Where's the party of Azikwe? Where's PRP of Rimi? Political parties must be nurtured, they must be reinvented, they must be true.
Join Mɪᴅ-ᴡᴇᴇᴜ and Said Fuad on Midweek Politics every Wednesday 1 to 3 p.m. on in-depth analysis on all matters around politics, policies and governance. Midweek Politics on Mainland 98.3 FM, bringing the right perspectives to everything politics.
What are the basis of my criticism? The basis of my criticism is simple. Play back 2014-2015. What have we promised? As a party aspiring to defeat PDP, we promised three things. We promised to revive the economy, we promised to deal with corruption, we promised to fight insecurity. On the issue of insecurity, at that time, the critical issue was Boko Haram. It didn't degenerate to the point of banditry the way we are having it. Of course, there were cattle rustling in the northwest and part of north central, but it didn't graduate to the level of banditry the way it is. It didn't graduate to the level of kidnapping the way it is. So, between 2015 and now, from insecurity in northeast, it has taken over, insecurity has taken over northwest, and it has taken over north central, and is spreading. In the last 1 month, I wish the security agencies will release record of statistics in terms of how many people have been killed or have been kidnapped. Today there are more ungoverned spaces, more spaces that are insecure, unsecure before you. The Aswaju that rule Lagos is not the Aswaju that is ruling Nigeria today. At this point, a founding member of APC, our promise in 2015 was that we are going to change all that. And we failed. Anybody who is not ready to admit that, it means it's not. The details are there contained. You read it. Out of it. Is to bring normalcy and redecorate. It's more difficult.
General elections in 2023 have created conversations and consequences that will live with us for years to come. From the executive to the judiciary, legislature, media, and the people, organized labor, and civil society organizations, issues that will continue to shape the future of our country needs continuous probing and interrogation.
I see the greater objective for the party, and let me tell you, I've told the PDP, political parties must be nurtured, they must be reinvented, they must be true.
Join Mɪᴅ-ᴜᴇᴜ and Said Fuad on Midweek Politics every Wednesday 1 to 3 p.m. on Mainland 98.3 FM for thought-provoking conversations, voices from the top, engaging interviews, in-depth analysis on all the right perspectives to everything politics.
Welcome back, Lukman. Talking tough and saying things have gotten really worse from the time the APC took over in 2015. Kept, and he also talked about the fact that the president over and over again members of the All Progressive Congress coming out to challenge the situation and speak truth to power depending on how you interpret their intentions. Some may feel like, oh, because they've been schemed out of the calculation of things, this or that, but whatever it is, they're still members of that political being done properly. But what does this say to you about the reaction of the people within the party that ordinarily you will have felt that, oh, these ones are enjoying the party? I will speak. I mean, what does this say about that? That's why I said sometimes, like you always say, that sometimes you have to ignore the messenger and just look at the message.
An integral part of the National Working Committee of the APC, and unfortunately that
it didn't start last year.
It didn't start last year. Did he say these things when Buhari was the president? So, you know, when I see politicians who suddenly have lost out from the political calculation now coming up to raise issues that they would have raised when they were in power, I just questions to ask Mr. Sali Olukman. You know, you should come and rescue Nigeria. And how are they going to do that? So if it is mad,
should rest it.
Because if they tolerated Buhari for 8 years and all of these problems were there, he didn't say anything. I think he should just and look, the change we desire will still come from the ballot.
It is the only way.
The only way.
There's nothing anybody wants to do.
So, you know, because by the time you begin to look, what do you know of IBB? Okoyemi? Whether they are coup plotting. That's look at
annulling an election.
There are stories out there that there's no coup, that they said design did there. It's a be how everything has happened. You know, there was this meeting that happened, I think over the weekend, where Obasanjo, IBB, and Gusau met. And well, there are no confirmed reports of what they really discussed, but people have said that, well, it was the issue of nation building, the state of the nation, and maybe they are, and so that should get people thinking. But again, I think people like Lukman should allow Nigerians just, you know, they've been part of the problem. Now that I think in the case,
not aligning with their,
it's not like us complaining. If me, I'm complaining now, I'm not looking for anything. There are things that going on with Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government has brought untold hardship on Nigerians. That anybody cannot argue. The question is also understand that Nigerians are not getting anything free. That illusion of
I'm getting it at 1,200.
So I think we need the issue of misdiagnosis, the mistreatment, all manner of. Imagine someone that was misdiagnosed for having cancer and had gotten doctors out.
You know the cost of a single chemo session.
For a person who had no cancer to have even gone through that session,
the pain, the trauma,
what we have there. You see, I've seen Nigerians or people who say, when they try to buy the hospital, and like, you've not seen any other one. For you to say this one is okay, you must have seen another one. If you go out and see what is available in terms of health, that why is it that the Aso Rock Villa Hospital cannot be fitted to
take care of the president?
Why? Country in droves, and when they get out there, they become superstars.
They're
celebrated for their achievements, for their know-how, their tenacity.
And then a minister will tell us that they can
one day bring good governance to Nigerians.
Victor, a governor is spitting fire. United Nations have donated $6 million to the Borno flood victims.
Yeah. I think UAE
talking about.
Well, Governor,
I'm talking about Bala Mohammed.
State has enough water to quench the fire. Minister of Federal Capital Territory FCT Nyesom Wike, his counterparts in Rivers State Siminalaye Fubara. Let's not forget that team that is going to put fire in each of their state. Now, to just make light of it, according to Bala, he said Wike quench that. But of course, we know when it comes to making such statements, he knows those kind of unfounded state regard, because in reality these are the kind of statements you actually want to check. But of course, Bala seems to be looking at it from the angle that, however, if it comes to that point, we have enough water. The fact that you're supporting Fubara, I'm going to put fire in your state, and I've been wrapping my head around this. What kind of fire is
my state? He specifically mentioned Bauchi, and also said Oyo states that, look, I'm not talking of putting fire in Bauchi or putting fire in Oyo state. What I'm saying is that if any of the governors come to my state, in your state, you know, that's what it is. And you know, we're waiting to see how they're going to put the house together. Really, I think we thought it was a crack before.
Is that to democracy? Because you have also alluded to the fact that for every democracy to thrive, intentional with making sure they put the government on toes. I saw a video of the PDP. By the way, the governors of the PDP and the National Working Congress, April 2024, his tenure as national chairman was extended by Dino Melayo. As heard, remember he got suspended recently by his ward, but the National PDP to show as national chairman of the APC, it was not the national APC that suspended. I'm afraid that if you don't manage this situation well, yes, we have about 18 different. And by the way, again, the INEC has refused to recognize Julius Abure as the APC cannot even put the house in order. How do we sustain?
Well, before you do that,
there's something else again.
On the sideline. No, just with Barrister Curtis on Salihu, look, man, and what is relation that look. He actually even facilitated the emergence of Tinubu as the AP. That he didn't lose out really, not like he lost out in the whole political calculation. He only disagreed with them. And the reality is that look, the man is no longer with them. He doesn't like what is going on. But I think that we should be careful to begin to create the impression.
And I will continue to say it. This may be an unpopular city can offer us. I was having a conversation with Shore before we came on air on Monday, and he said he has a lot of history with this Ikorodu. That's why anytime Milan FM calls him, he would always be here. Because the first time he was ever beaten by the military in 1992 with this Ikorodu, and he wonders why he keeps coming here, criticizing the government. But when the military comes up on board,
even to publish, you remember the way the news was published without cover.
Media houses were burnt.
Yes.
Media editors were picked up, and their families did not see them forever. They don't even know where they kept them. To have stolen over 80 billion. He's still talking of fundamental rights. They were asking questions. They were environmentalists. They want the environment to them and killed them. What happened? We're suspended, we're reinstated, and life went on.
Let's be careful what we wish for.
0913-600-0410. Let's take your calls. Like I said, in show today, we've talked about Edo 2024. We've talked about the drama in the PDP. We've also talked about the Minister of Bunsats. That's coming from the former National Vice Chairman of the All Progressive Congress. He's not presiding over the country the way he governed Lagos. And so we brought all of the FM, and you can call us on 0913-600-0410 for the calls.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Mr.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my name Prince Olakule. Hello?
Well, with you.
Yeah. So, APC Shama, former Shama statement. You know, it is only it's okay. But there are some gullible people who are losers.
Hello.
Okay, you get a call back.
And I appreciate if you can call us back. 0913-600.
Victor Omolojo, happy birthday.
Thank you very much, Ufoma.
May the Lord prosper your day.
Amen.
And may your dream come to reality in the journey of tonight in Jesus' name. The Baba tó lọ́mọ wò ní sùn. Ọmọ náà ní bàbá náà ní sùn. Always mention the how Tinubu was able to manage free and fair. Truly, we could just say bye bye to Tinubu era. The last election, we saw it. Since the election is not fair and fair, and they have the power to most election, let the will of the people prevail. Both the APC and PDP, we have seen all of them that is branded up now. Can the people really even say that yes, he did well? The answer is no. But if the election itself is free and fair, we will see the result of the people. And the people say yes, we vote. But this election, some will say their vote, but some say no. The world
from our well side forward report just reaching me with video backing says that the Iroko police Olusegun Mimiko, former minister of health for states, contested and won the election under the Labour Party in those states. He went again and formed this state and he lost. He's officially decamped to the All Progressive. They've moved to the All Progressive Congress. Mr. Lakunle.
Yeah, congrats to Iroko. It's finally joined. Don't see that's why so we can't do anything about it. We are clearly going to win November in Ondo State. Now let me quickly fall back and go to where it's raised to 1,000%. And I wonder, as a governor of a state, you should have an edge. But clearly, and as I said the last time, you should look at how the north, the central, northwest. Yes, if you look at the balance, as I've always said, and he has always held that place since 2006. So most likely he will likely win that. Come to the central, you have Yamu, you have Oᴘᴇ. On the other side, you have Obaseki and his own, and you have a deal breaker in Olumide Akpata, who continues to push as much as it is. Olumide Akpata decides to drop out whichever way, then PDP. But for me, I just feel APC will make just likely differently here and there. So we'll wait and we'll see what that comes out for. And for Luke, he needs to go and realign himself.
Thank you.
And if he feels he's not going to get what he needs from the party,
now, I've always said it. Since we started this build up to the Edo election from the primaries, we knew that a lot was going to happen. He's saying he understands where those pains are coming from. But look, we go close to the election. We're seeing that it could be a game changer. It may not be a decider, but it could be a game changer. Because if he takes vote out of that place like this, you'll be surprised that 5,000
matters,
2,000 matters, especially when the results start coming in. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Oga Ford, I disagree with people that I don't know even how Lukman look like. But the fact that you are not in government or the government in power, that does not mean that you just, ignore them.
Push them aside,
They know where they can go and cause harm for you. And actually, I don't think we need military to take over. These are the people that president, past president, political president, before Buhari and this Tinubu. But Tinubu send military anything you think of. And it will take you time to clear their name out of power. This is number one. Bauchi has enough water to quench the fire. But he don't know that he's holding matches in his pocket already. You understand? He has matches in his pocket. Already the fire is burning by the day of the election when the primaries come. The only thing that will come together, agree that they have stepped down or they have suspended or they have removed their presidential ambition in 2027.
All right.
So that they will now go either to meet somebody in the south, be it Jonathan or whatever, to go and say that, okay, we will give you the support in 2027 come out. This is the only thing that can quench the fire.
Thank you,
but as far as all of them have, yet the trouble of PDP yet to come.
Thank you.
Yet to come. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Who is also a problem for the PDP? This is almost like a last attempt, really.
And Bala Mohammed is hot.
And what he's saying is that the only reason why Bala Mohammed, would not go ahead with his presidential ambition, no, you have to slug it out.
When you look at Bauchi is a state that I know very, very well.
You know he was a former MDFCT.
Joshua.
Yeah, good afternoon, bro.
You're welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, okay, Joshua.
I want to officially congratulate my party, the best party in the land, even when we are to appreciate the effort of Adam's factor and Shuaibu's factor. I want to wish my party well. This is what I just want to do on the show today. Wish my party well in the election. Because one say state that thing. But then majority of us think our problem is the federal. People who is someone who is building a house today will not even appreciate the federal government for what are our state doing. How many of us even know the name of our governor? Some people don't even know the name of the governor of their state or local government or senators. But all their focus is federal government. Tinubu. That is where we are find out.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gege Joshua. The next couple of days,
what do you think this defection of Iroko to the APC? Again, I hear that Tiwa, of course, is busy. He's a very busy man. He wants to win the state, and he's probably going to get the federal might. He's the candidate of the party, despite disaffection of other candidates. Do you think this is going to bring him back to, the limelight? Any more political reckoning waiting for him?
From Ondo West local government, the same place Mimiko is from. And he's a man for the Super Eagles from the under 17. He went through the ranks. That's Mimiko. He was a former youth minister of state for health. He's been there.
So he's been around.
And while he was a governor, it's very interesting that you've had almost 8 years after his administration, but you can still see his print everywhere. A lot of other states and even countries, according to what we read, have come to copy. Airport, he was going back out of country, and Mimiko was on the same flight with him. So Mimiko, on the normal day, as a governor, you know the entourage that will follow him to the airport. And then Mimiko just came in, pulled his truck. I didn't even see him. So I heard somebody saying, because when he was the governor of the state, his younger brother, Professor Femi Mimiko, was my vice chancellor in school. So there is that, left and right, but he feels his absence as such because he's actually not really aligned with the PDP. When he moved to the PDP from the Zenith Labour Party, the party says take over the structure of riders again. So there was never any alliance. So him moving to the APC, literally all of the assembly members, all of them are moved over to the APC. The member representing the Ondo in the NDDC for reps, Honorable Kolade, he contested on the platform of appointment immediately.
You said the man is a cheerful giver.
Yes, someone that just appointed over 300 ward canvassers and called them SSA show what that is.
Looking good.
It's going to be in November.
See, well, aside from hello, good afternoon. Okay, like this person is. I understand what's going on. The person is.
Good afternoon. This is JD.
Good afternoon.
This is Jude from Sule.
Jude, you're welcome. Are you sure?
Yes. Once a politician now, go chop. Money got the finish now. Now let's now look at Edo. Yesterday, people made a talk about Edo election, and somebody said, "Obasanjo, let there be one man, one vote in Edo." If you remember, and Jonathan said, "Don't worry, you will get a one man, one vote. Nothing will happen." And Jonathan did not heat up the politics, just like Tinubu said, he will hand over the state to APC. And I keep telling people, some people don't understand. No, I'm not saying the fight. I'm only telling you. I'm only telling you our nature. That thing that happened in Lagos during the governorship election. It is for weapon and weapon. It is equally matched. It is for police and police. See, it is only in Lagos. I see people fear police. I am for Missoko.
I just wanted to be specific.
So you go know. Then my mom is from Delta Center. I am from Delta South. My wife is from Delta North. So all of us are Delta. We don't know what is Delta North. After Delta North, we go to Delta Central. After Delta Central, it comes to Delta Isoko, Ijo, and Ishekiri. And even when it comes to Delta South, it is no longer was James Manager from Ijo. So the next governorship seat automatically comes to my place.
So it's you people.
So yes, people, we know they argue, we know they fight. We know how the rotation is done. Somebody has gone for the other side, Edo North. You can't rule for 8 years. Become they don't know 8 years. They don't the governor 8 years. Deputy in Edo State.
Thank you very much, Jude. That was
from Delta.
It felt intense. Then Victor will take us to Facebook. Hello, Prince Bias. No, you are with us, but we're not. You are with us, but we are not with you. Unfortunately,
let's go to Facebook.
Please take us through Facebook.
Let me take this one that just dropped in now. This is coming from that APP in the coming LG detection now, and they also talked about Yaya Bello has just surrendered to the AFCC now as well. Thank you very much for that as well. Nigeria is a program where different actors display their creative skills. Hope the EF get to the top where we have some messages that have been dropping so far. Adeshola is saying, hello beautiful people, thank you very much. D Alpha say yeah before since 1999. I'm going to stop it there, D Alpha, because the other part of your message, Lajide Peter is wishing me. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Your dada, thank you for your message as well. Always dropping your messages. I think I will skip it to save my career.
Go on.
Thank you very much.
I would help you out with that, but go on.
He said if I believe he's talking about so PFCC already has their evidence well sorted out so as not to not for the case to go Molade or Gumodede. Is saying Nigeria has 4 refineries and none seems to be working. None actually is working at the moment for almost.
Victor, let me take that line from Dada Olajide, and it says Iwa omo ni mu omo se okigbe.
Thank you. Now John Bernardo is a good afternoon, Mainland FM. Can't wait to see your team in Edo State.
part. With that one that June just said, June.
Don't you have a day? You have a day.
We are hoping that it's going to be very peaceful.
Yes,
hopefully. Now, Kayode Omojo and Ikpaja, Lagos. Let me take it up a bit and take this other message here for John Esson. I guess this is from this person is actually texting us from the United States of America for interrogation. Our institutions are dead. The only weak when dealing with opposition, and also I'm pretty sure is watching us online, Francis, because it must surely one day lose power, and his past will begin to haunt him. And that's coming from Chika Bende Bout at Lasuth. No electricity firm with all the problem facing Nigeria. It is Ashwed
launching a national fabric. I think that's the news, right?
And I guess that's what it's referring to as
yes,
well.
that's what it's referring to. Yes,
launch of a national fabric.
Yes.
He went on to say our politicians are nice in the Constitution of Nigeria. Okay, that was a question. Okay, thank you very much for that. John Bernard Oyi says, good afternoon, Mainland FM.
410. Don't forget that by 3 p.m. today, we'll have, a big musical artist, Be Show. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Midweek Politics.
Yeah, for the good job you guys been doing. So just like from earlier on when I'm overwhelmed, because look at the issue of Ibori when he was arrested over there, the arresting that we couldn't do here, even when he was finally returned. People that he stole the money that belongs to, that is why these politicians, they know how to get us. They know how to play the sound and we will quickly dance to their beat. And that is why we are where we are. Just like Community was saying, if I tell you what happened in Imut, I want you to do your underground check about who is pre-arranged voting. They done that before the election. At the end of the day, what do? Go to court. When you go to court, what happened? They will still be changing results like what happened in Imut. The way I know, if Imo to go out and vote, all of them cannot get more up to 100 votes. I think we still do what the organ will tell them to do. But I think by now, I think we will start like trying to redeem their image.
From very much 0913-600 every Wednesdays rather from one.
Jibola calling from the corner. And happy birthday to Mr. Victor.
Thank you very much.
Wish you long life and prosperity.
Well, maybe back Nigeria. We are here. It has happened.
So let's just progress. Let's progress. And Mr. Fuad, something I always say on this video is, see, one thing I cherish Miller for is because of this. See, we know the worst form of military is war, but no matter what, it's not the kind of government you are practicing that matters. It's the people that are part to be part. What about if I should call anybody a thief now on this station, like any of the people in the government, they will look for me and they will arrest me. What they are doing is wrong. Not somebody calling that our party is still win because of they are still their own party. There's no outside. That is what we are saying. It's not that we should just be following. People should ask critical questions that will take us out of this jungle we are fighting into anything. Why will you deliver? Are you the electorate? Are you the one that will vote? That kind of statement is appalling. And you say that's the democratic statement. It's looking somehow.
Thank you very much, Victor. Take us through Facebook.
Yes, as quick as possible. Now, this is
one of the VIPs that escorted him to the FCC is the governor of